Hello, we're streaming, waiting for confirmation that it's actually working.
Hello.
All right, so as we normally do, we're looking at the variety show channel on the Boldport Club Slack, waiting for somebody to tell us that it's working, because we haven't done it in a while. So we don't know if it's all good. Ben got this thing, this flexible thing, so you don't, if we go like this,
It's less likely.
less,
to-
yeah. So you see
It's still well though.
so kind of wobbling here instead of being that
They
rigid.
can probably hear that.
What, this?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We now know that. Thank you for telling us we're okay. Right. So it's been a while.
A bit too long.
This desk here that we set up in the office have been looking at me with invoking a sense of guilt for not doing this more often, because I did work quite a bit to make the setup. But anyway, I mean, it is what it is, and the schedule was always meant to be kind of ad hoc, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are today talking about the project that we're sending out next week, which is Whiteboard,
Yeah.
and some of the interesting parts about it, the little bit of motivation and so on, and maybe just a little bit about the next upcoming projects.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's going to be fairly short, I guess. Anyway, let's transition into this the spread.
Artful display.
Yeah. So Ben has curated
Yeah.
bits and pieces from this project.
Yeah,
right?
it's quite a sort of lots of little boards in it, lots of little
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one has quite a few components. I mean, there's like 4 pieces to this project.
Yeah,
Five
yeah.
if you count this thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you wanna tell us what's? I mean, let's start with what it is.
Well, yeah, it started because I was trying lots of. I'm trying to design circuits for Boldport, and I really like these tiny little boards because you can get hundreds of them, and you can just prototype lots of small ideas. You can't do tons on them, but it's good when you just got one chip and you want to just try a few resistors, a few LEDs, and things like that.
Yeah, what I found nice about these kind of things is that if you're prototype, yeah. Oh, you can see my hands, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're prototyping a few chips, I like to sort of compartmentalize them. So say I'll put one chip here with all its resistors and capacitors, and then there'll be a couple of outputs, and then I know that this is kind of verified, and I don't need to keep touching it, and then have another one that has another chip, and so I mean it kind of, the first time I seen these, I thought, oh, it's a bit of a toy. But they're quite useful for what you just described, single chip, peripheral stuff. But
what happened was, like, I kept trying to attach power supplies to it. We use a lot of these batteries.
Yeah.
You can make things up and use bench power supplies on them, but wires tend to sort of pull really hard on them, and they fall off the table and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be quite neat to make, because you can already get these power supplies that push into the larger breadboards.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, it'd be good to make one so you can make little neat circuits especially with a coin cell, or any other kind of power, plugged in power, maybe a little DC supply, and you can sort of prototype on the go. Just like without sort of needing all the bench and stuff like that, and all the wires pulling it off. It's quite. You can just chuck it in your bag and take it somewhere. And it's not like meant to be like the ultimate breadboard. It's limited in size and things like that.
No, I mean, like a lot of our projects, it's it doesn't. It's not. It combines a few useful things, but it's not a full solution for.
It's like a little mini sketchboard.
Yeah, and it'll be convenient for some things, and so for other things you'd use something else. So you mentioned the battery. So first
this is what the board will look like.
Just trying to get the focus for just right.
Yeah. It's got a really nice Enig finish on it, and it's just made up of a lot of different sub-modules. So this one at the top is a DC power supply, very adjustable power supply. It's basically just a linear LM317 adjustable regulator. That's what it's called. It's all in mirror here. And the bottom one is just a plain coin cell charger. And then rather than waste all this all the way around, we thought it might be a cool idea to make a sort of surround for the board. So it sort of lets you connect things like surface mount components.
So you break out these pieces. Yeah?
Oh yeah. Sorry, when you're assembling it, these all come out. This is a panel. So a panel is like a circuit board where all the subboards can get pushed out. And normally you just chuck this bit away, but we turn it into a more useful thing. It's got these holes. So basically, I'll show you when it's assembled.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of hard.
Oh, we don't have one that just doesn't have the pieces out. That's fine.
You can kind of see it here. It has these little jumper links, so you can attach test points to it. This is sort of designed with probes, multimeter probes in mind.
But you can also put power in another power source or a signal out or.
And then here you can see all the surf. These are like 0805 or 1206. It's the pads designed to fit both chip sizes, with little circular pads for soldering wires, so you could like jumper surface mount components in.
I think the idea was if
or you could join them up, or
So if you need a value of a resistor, and you only have it as 0805, so you'd instead of kludging something up, you'd have somewhere to put that in, and you'd have to solder a bit of wire here and somehow plug it back in, but it's a sort of a prototype area, and that's on both sides, right? Yeah. So you have it on both sides.
The at the top there's a little perf area.
Yeah, it's another prototyping area.
Point to point. What do you call it?
It's a 0.1 millimeter.
It's just standard.
Standard. Yeah.
And at the bottom, I've got a little 4 little white LEDs, 3mm LEDs, to a socket, and they're all common cathode. So you can see on this board. This is the adjustable version, but we can go on that later. You can see here. It's just 4 LEDs.
And then there are 6 connections, so there's ground and...
Yeah, there's ground at each end.
Yeah.
And then the 4 LEDs in the middle.
Oh, ground, okay.
So ground, this is ground. That's there and there. And the 4 middle ones are just there. Yeah. But moving on to the more important bit, should we talk about that?
What, the adjustable?
The actual bits that stick in the boards.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, the battery's quite straightforward, but the adjustable regulator is quite cool. It looks like this when you've assembled it and pulled it out. Whoop. Come on.
We need a better camera. Yeah.
So it's designed to make it quite safe. Well, not safe, just linear regulators can tend to get quite hot. So as it is, it's limited to about 100, 200 milliamps.
So there's a polyfuse in
Yeah,
series.
there's a fuse in series. It's got a reverse protection diode that works with the fuse to stop you putting the wrong DC power supply in. Because it's like a standard DC 2.1 millimeter.
Yeah, and the polarity is indicated in the back, right?
Yeah,
so
just here.
if it focuses.
Almost.
Yeah, so...
There it is.
Yeah. And it's intended to... It's sort of designed to have a maximum of 12 volts in, right?
Yeah, so just in terms of keeping it within a safe temperature range without having heatsink on here.
So if you know what you're doing, there's a jumper to bypass the fuse, but you'd have to make sure that you're within the thermal tolerances of the regulator.
The main risk, well, it's not really a risk. It's just the main sort of like getting really hot situation is if you're dropping a lot of voltage across the regulator, and you've put quite a high voltage in.
Yeah.
You just have to work it out.
Yeah, and then this is an adjustable regulator, and then we have that handy trimmer.
It goes between it goes 1.25, which is the lowest that thing can go to, 1.25 volts to 12 volts. But of course, with a 12 volt input, it's not going to give you 12 volts.
You have the drop. What is it? The drop is like 2 volts.
You'll get 10 volts.
So you'd get about 10 volts, yeah.
Yeah, but I made it up to 12 because if you wanted to put a heatsink on it, you could make it a 12 volt regulator.
Yeah. And
put 15 volts into it or something like that.
Yeah, but normally if you're prototyping on this sort of thing, you might need 9 volts out in here, but you wouldn't power anything like significant on this. But it can be a general purpose kind of adjustable regulator, and we already have all the data, all the schematic and everything you need online. It's boldport.com/whiteboard.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in the schematic and basically everything's ready for shipment. So so the information is there. Now there's a third piece to this. Right.
Yeah. The
little one.
That if you look here, because of the way the boards are shaped, you end up with a tiny little bit in between, and it's kind of like this multi little. I'm not going to get this in focus. It's this funny shape. This has got a little former on there, so when you're making the board, you see how these legs go in at the top here. You've got to bend. These legs
are the excess from the diodes.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's pretty chunky
yeah, they're
wires.
suitable for doing these jumpers. And this is 7. Oh, why did I try and remember that number? 7.62?
7.62, yeah.
Yeah. Width, so you can sort of... I've got a little demo here. Oops, I should stop elbowing the table. You can fold it over to make the little jumper. Makes a nice neat.
7.6 also useful for the breadboard, right? It'll just jump those.
I think 7.62 is the width of a chip.
So it'll just
goes in there,
So useful for other things as well.
Yeah.
And did you talk about the chip? Yeah.
And also, when you finish with that, we'd like to think about the environment. We don't want you to chuck it away. Not only that, doing marketing. They can be turned into these little breadboard adapters. So on one side so if you look on one side, it's got pads like that. That is SOT 23.
SOT 23, yeah.
Sorry, I like to pronounce them all. And this is just the same resistor pitch at 1206.
Right.
0805.
So you could use that.
Yeah. So
you could take if you have that 0805 or 1206 resistor or capacitor or whatever, you can yeah, there you go.
You can push it in the board.
Yes. So you can use that as a, sort of as a through hole component, right?
On the SOC 23 one, you can. That's the transistor there.
Yeah.
3 legs of one transistor and 3 legs of the other. On the resistor one, they just go across.
Yeah.
It's just a little bonus.
Yeah, I've had ideas about creating a dedicated project for something like that. So, but there was just not enough meat there, and I'm glad that we kind of fitted it in here, because I know how frustrating it is. You're prototyping something, and the only chip that you have is a surface mount, and this could come in handy. So everything you see here, not everything. I mean everything. The board, the breadboard, all the components except the pins for this little piece, I think, and the things to populate. Is included in the kit. So
do you want to see the kit?
Yeah, show me the kit.
So it comes in a neat little bag.
Yeah,
got them printed to have a little.
You set me up for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put it in a bag so you can sort of keep them all organised. You know, you can keep them, store them in that, because it's the kind of thing that you'd keep in your desk. And it's going to come with the breadboard, the components come in a little thing. The board comes in a little bag like that.
So it doesn't get scratched, right?
So it doesn't get scratched, yeah. And this month we've also designed this special sticker. It's
Sticker CAD.
Sticker CAD. Yeah. So it lets you well, it's just like a cool sort of customizable sticker, basically.
It's when you have ideas but don't have a soldering iron handy or a thing, or you don't have your little bag of thing, and you kind of like
your idea with 2 resistors in it.
It's like a prototyping thing in your wallet. Kind of thing, right? You're sitting on the tube or on the train or something, and everything's here. Everything's here, and you can.
You're like, I've got this great idea that involves 1 transistor and 2 wires.
Exactly.
I'm gonna just
and a capacitor and an LED.
And then you're like, I'm just gonna make this like this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, get the breadboard down. Oh.
Wait. Just put it.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's put. I need my Boldport 555 chip.
Yeah.
You know, this is all possible on the tube, or on the train.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, a wire.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I've connected something wrong. Magic smoke. Psst.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's as real as it gets, right? I mean, that's as close as having the components with you.
It makes you a real engineer.
Yeah. Something.
But anyway, you could try that, or you could just stick it on your laptop and it'll look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will look cool on a laptop.
Yeah.
It will. So this sheet is gonna come with inside of the project bag, and it's really neat. Is that it about the whiteboard project? I think so.
Yeah. Thereabouts.
Oh, you wanted to show another, this thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, just some examples.
Oh, no, wait. Before you think...
Yeah, we've seen this already.
We've seen this. But this is the circuit from
Yeah, I was just showing you, examples. This is Nana's. Just
this
with red
the
LEDs.
Circuit, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
If a Nana's was red. And then this.
This is a quarter of the ananas, right?
Yeah, it's a quarter, yeah. You probably won't be able to hear this. Oh, no.
Well, maybe here? Maybe in our. Oh, but it needs to be
I've got
attached to something. Maybe.
No, I've missed. There's a component that fell off it.
Here.
Just made a little sound generator.
It's gonna.
There's a problem with it.
It's gonna sound better. Just have patience.
It'll work. Yeah.
Right, and while we're teasing you with upcoming things, we just got these today. Right, so we've already announced the next few projects, right? It's going to be Pips, which is related to these things, digital dye.
Yeah.
Then the Conehead, which we really haven't said what it is.
No, but there might have been a clue here.
Might have been a clue what the Conehead is. And then it's the Cordwood Puzzle 3, which is...
Have you announced that already? No.
Maybe not. No, there's a channel for it on Slack.
Oh.
But yeah, Cordwood Puzzle 3, which will be the third... not version, but generation of cordwood puzzles, because the first year in May 2016 there was the first cordwood puzzle as a club project. Then a year later there was the second one, Cordwood Puzzle 2, and then now it's Cordwood Puzzle 3. And you might realize from the name what you might expect. So I'm working on sort of the logic of it right now. And seeing, making something quite challenging, I think.
What would 3 mean? That's what you could imagine.
Yeah, well, quite. We'll leave it.
Okay.
But yeah, I also teased about it on Twitter. Posted a picture.
Oh, did you?
Of sort
I
of
haven't been on Twitter. Sorry.
This kind of cardboard prototypes that I do. Yeah, because it's easier. Anyway, that will be only in May, and we have a very good idea what's going to be in June.
Oh yes,
but no,
work in progress.
Yeah, and that's it. And other than that, there's things coming up, new things and old things and nice things and. Good things coming up, so but all in good time. I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
No. I'm done.
You're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.